Hey there my friends, this is Robin Hood, and today I am bringing you a 2 versus 2 that I played with my friend Indie Pride against Freelancer and Trollo Lord. This will be fought on the Kurobe, or however you say that, Gorge map. Probably butchered that name, but whatever. No big deal, doesn't affect the battle at all. So you can see this map has 4 main hills, and then, as it says, a gorge in the center, which has a small island surrounded by a river there. So this battle was actually really interesting due to the fact that here I am fighting with a Fall of the Samurai army. Indie Pride here has a vanilla shogun army. His opponent has a Fall of the Samurai army, and my opponent is a vanilla shogun army. So at this point, maybe the smartest thing would have been for us to switch. Not sure, but you know, this is gonna be how it ends up going. So obviously, you know, people underestimate the vanilla shogun armies against Fall of the Samurai armies. On a map like Grassy Flatlands, or keep calling it that, rice fields, a shogun army, if the player is skilled at all, will absolutely butcher a vanilla shogun army. But on a map like this, unless I lined up down here, which even then is still not that good of a place for me to be, especially since these shogun armies have the range advantage, the 200 range bows, like Daikyus and bow monks, and he has some. Also, if I sit on the hill, these mini ridges and such block some of my field of fire. So it's just kind of a tricky business, and the only way that it is possible for me to win in a situation like this is to form multiple tiers of units and hope that one holds them long enough for the back one to shoot up his men. That's going to be what I end up doing later on, but you guys will see if it works or not. So first thing that happened, I saw that this was my opponent's weak flank here, and I sent my general, who has 155 range, down there, planning on making some attacks. Indie Pride sent his 2 Great Guard and this mounted gunners over. That's all of his cavalry, and it's pretty much that. So we'll take a look at my army. This is kind of a long battle. Obviously, I have my general. I have a Shogatai sword unit and a spear levy, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Imperial infantry, a Tosa riflemen, and an infantry de marine. Said the saber cav, I think. If not, there it is. And then 3 Yariki. He sent his cav down that way, so I sent 2 of mine, 2 other Yariki, over to the left. His army is Naginata attendants, sword attendants, Yari Ashigaru, tons of Naginata samurai and no dachis, katana samurai. Yeah, and that's pretty much that. Naginata warrior monks, and then his general. And his opponent here has, at current moment, due to its range, the biggest threat. This artillery unit, which is increased range Armstrong gun, so very expensive unit there. This cavalry, Yariki, 2 veteran of them. Infantry de marine, 150 range. These Azure Dragon Force, they're an okay unit. They are very veteraned up, but they're still not that great of a unit. My Imperial Infantry would beat them, so obviously he traded off bringing these crappier units to bring the more expensive ones, such as the 150 range, what is that, 6 Chevron United States Marine, and he has a hidden sharpshooter unit in these trees. And then obviously this artillery unit costs a ton, and that was the only time I used. Here is the bridge on this map. Forgot to say, only map with a bridge on it, and this bridge isn't very practical. It's good for like 1 or 2 flanking units, but otherwise it's not something that you'd want to march your whole army across, especially with artillery. Really kind of choke points the men. Sent 1 Yariki onto the flank, and there they are. They're just going to sit there for a while, seeing if he's willing to attack. And this might have been actually when I sent him back, when I saw these cavalry coming. No, there they are. They're hiding. I send them back a bit later. But my opponent here, most of his army's hitting. He has tons of Naginata attendants, 3 bows, one of which is 1 or 200 range, used to 150 because of the Marines, and his avatar, and then tons of Naginata samurai. He might even have 1 or 2 monks. Not sure, Naginata monks, but no sword units. So that was interesting. So you can see over here all of our cavalry except for my 2 other Yariki, or actually I have 3 Yariki back there, but you know, most of the cav is over here around behind them, and this opponent here, Trolla Lord, has a contingent of cavalry hidden in the woods right where my screen is. So we knew about that. We're just kind of maneuvering around, seeing what he will do. We were running back this way, hoping he would come fight us, because Indy's got these Great Guard, which are great units right there, hence the name Great in their name. So that was kind of redundant. Name Great in their name. Oh well. And I've got my Yariki there too. So, you know, at this point, I was just kind of skirmishing with my general, moving him forward, hoping to get a few kills on this guy, since he has the increased range. And there was some threatening moves over here by this United States Marine, a freelancer. Look at that unit. Odd color for a Marine. I kept mine traditional blue, but never know. So what I did here, I moved one of my cavalry back and turned my Tosa riflemen to fire on them, but they are going to move out of range. You can see I have my other cavalry unit over here, and look, here goes this artillery opening up. I had seen this cavalry running for mine on the mini-map, so I came and told Indy to put a spear unit here, hoping they would chase me across the bridge, and, you know, catch those spears on the choke point, since my 1 cav unit could not beat 2, but this guy's kind of wasting his artillery, such an expensive unit here on this little minuscule unit there. And here you can see the left flank of my Tosa riflemen getting some shots on these sharpshooters, who I believe these guys can they fire while hidden? Yep, they can fire while hidden, so that's why it's a dangerous unit for me, and they have 150 range. So right here I was trying to sneak a saber cavalry through the gap, but you know, to charge these guys, but it's not going to end up working, as I see him shifting his Azure Dragon force down. So right now this was kind of a waiting game, because when fighting a vanilla shogun army and you have the follow the samurai army, my advantage is range, and the only way I can win is shooting him before he gets to me. If that army makes it into my lines, I mean, you know, there's not much left. There's nothing I can really do. Maybe a lucky hammer and anvil would win it, but his army would shred mine in melee. So you have to make sure that if they get into melee, they have so few troops they can't do anything. And that means getting every single shot you can. If I moved forward to attack him right here, and here I do get some nice shots on this bow monk with my marines. But you know, if I did move forward to attack him and he saw it, he could move down and cover quite a bit of distance before I managed to line up and even fire. And that defeats the purpose. So basically, Indy can't attack his opponent, and I can't really attack mine. And Freelancer here, or Indy could attack his opponent, but it's not smart. Freelancer here can't really attack Indy, because that once again defeats the purpose of the fall of the samurai army, and this guy doesn't want to charge into my guns. And look at this here. Slipped my Yariki down into these lines, and look, those guys went flying. Kind of wrecked that unit there, and then I'm going to pull out before any spears can come and help. But it looked as if he wasn't paying attention, because these guys just sat here. So I'm going to pull back. And over this way, look at that. Indy's mounted gunners came and absolutely killed this guy's general named Robert E. Lee there. So that's kind of funny. And the artillery is going to go down as they take them out. And over here is a spear unit and all of these Yari cavalry and monk cav that this guy had. I don't know where his cavalry went. Oh yeah, his cavalry went down here to the center, Freelancer. And you can see my general over here firing on that unit. And they decided to charge right into my Tosa riflemen. And I have units over here and Yariki to back them up. So my guns are going to fire into this and shred these cav. Yes, he's going to do some damage to my Tosas, but his men are also firing and only hitting his own cav. my men are firing and hitting them, and I have cavalry in there now. So, you know, all in all, it's a bad situation for him, although these Dragon Force are close. His mistake was too few units and too spread apart. And over here, Indy's cavalry is still fighting, running his mounted gunners away, but there's so much enemy cav that he is probably not going to win that. I don't remember if he does. And I went ahead and did another cavalry strike, got a few more kills. And over here, my Tosas actually slightly survived that, but then they're going to run away. But we killed all of Freelancer's cavalry, and these United States Marines here are just chucking away their ammo on a routing unit. So same with this Azure Dragon Force, so thank you to him for that. And what is this? Suppressive fire on a routing unit. Nice. So that helped me out. Here I have the Spear Levy going forward, and I'm going to take them, put them in loose formation in a bit, and just kind of march this way. They're going to end up getting shredded, but it was just a diversion. So at this point, this guy knows that he can't come and crest this hill and attack Indy, because in order to fire, he'd have to be on top of the hill, you know, or else it's in the way. And that would be bad, because at that point, he's right where Indy can charge him without taking almost any casualties. I still have 2 Yari Key here. And look at that, Indy's cavalry actually did win that. Got away in time. There's all the combat, or what was of it. Mounted gunners shooting down these Naginata samurai. But yeah, this guy decides to go ahead and attack me on my flank, and so does my opponent. He's attacking head on. So this really kind of made it difficult for me, as you can see, because yes, I'm sitting here and getting what I want, shots on this guy before he can get to me. But the problem is, what I wanted to do was set up lines like this, here, and then here, and then here, so that when my first one crumbled, the other one would still be there. And I can't do that since I have to fight on the flank, these forces. But at this point, Indy's charging down and hoping to help with this, and he's going to. He's got a full army and no units turned to face him. So my 150 range units are firing with his here, and this unit's going to turn around, and I'm still going to have some men firing down to all of this though. But you can see up front my men shredding these guys as they cross the river. But look at this bow fire going in. These 200 range units can really, they can absolutely shred gun units. It is crazy. Here I charged forward my Shogatai, and they are going to do a number on these monks, but my men are going to end up going down. Look at all the arrows in the ground and still coming in. I have my general back here. Can see the smoke rolling off the battlefield. And my second line. See, now I am getting what I wanted and lining up in separate sections. And since Indy has now dealt with this guy pretty much, except for this sharpshooter on my flank, which was a real pain, you know, I can turn and fight him. The problem is they're taking out my best unit, those sharpshooters, my Infantry de Marine, and I'm going to move these guys onto the flank. And remember, I have 2 cavalry units still, and they are over here chasing this guy's general, and one of them is right here. My Saber Cav, they came and helped wrap up some of this mess. But you can see I'm just reinforcing my line with my general, who already has a ton of kills, and then pulling him back right when he's about to get hit. And here he actually got slightly hit because these guys pushed through, so I'm going to go ahead and pull him back. But you can see at this point, it looked like I was going to lose my flank, but I'm pulling back and forming another line and charging in this Saber Cavalry, even though it is Spear Infantry, just to stall. And these Imperial Infantry, thank gods, are going to hold as if they were a Katana Samurai or a Shogatai in melee here. And that really helped me out. Indy's Cav is over here, and you can see my Infantry de Marine is down here, and it's going to start shredding these bow units that were causing me trouble. So, you know, once they get into the range, they're screwed. But here I have my second line all lined up, and you can see these infantry. They're going to go ahead and run. My general's firing, and then this line is going to start firing. And once again, these little ridges made it very difficult for my men to actually fire. But I believe this unit routes almost immediately here. You can see them getting the crap shot out of them. And then this unit is going to follow not far behind. These guys are all very depleted and taking heavy fire from the flank too. Over here, my infantry de marine just shredding things up. 273 kills, killed tons of charges over here. I think it survived 3 Naginata monk attacks because it just fires so quickly. And over here, my last line of defense held. So my army got absolutely shredded, but the multiple tiers of troops tactic ended up paying off. And here I said, you know, India's cav was coming. I said, don't kill the general. It's my general's job. And so here comes Nico McBrain in an epic downhill charge to finish off. What's this guy's name? Can't find any of his troops. Drunken Master. Nice general name, bro. But yeah, you can see my general is going to win this. Yes, he probably wouldn't have won had this guy been on horseback because he is a partial melee general. But my general won that, especially with his guns firing before going in. You can see he's still firing some shots off after them. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the statistics from that battle there. But yeah, that was a fun one. Just slightly tedious, and you know, it's kind of... It is difficult on maps like that to fight a vanilla shogun army, and it wouldn't have been as difficult, but I guess what they were hoping by both of them attacking me at first was to knock me out quickly and then both focus on Indy, and I don't know, you know, if that was the best of plans, but I don't know when we would have made a move, and it had to start somewhere, so that's what they did, and it did kind of screw me up firing on the flank, but it also completely opened their flank to Indy, so, you know, bad there. But as you can see, my army took a beating, 1,093 lost, but I killed 1,151, so gave slightly better than I got, but still tough there. Indy lost 488 and killed 844. And there's my infantry marine and my general on top, Imperial infantry, and then these guys down here that were the front line of defense, the ones doomed to die. See Freelancer, his marines did crazy. Mounted gunners for Indy, and those 200 range Daikyo. Telling you guys, if you have 200 range bows, you can win a battle against a Fall of the Samurai army, because nothing in Fall of the Samurai except artillery can get 200 range that I know of, and it's a good thing for you. If you bring 200 range bow monks and a Daikyo, you can make them have to march towards you, and if you're sitting, you know, behind the crest of a hill to where they have to come really close, you can almost certainly defeat them easily there. But otherwise, good game to my opponents, good game to Indy, and I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. I'll see you guys next time.